Hey everybody, we are going to talk Social Security today, specifically some changes that are coming very shortly. So these aren't changes to benefits, so don't be too concerned yet. But there are some major changes that seniors should know about. Before we dive in, please take a minute and check out the link you see on your screen, fool.com/mattf. Seniors leave a lot of Social Security on the table, up to $23,000 per year. So take a look at that. We're going to get a message from my sponsor, The Motley Fool. It is the best way to support this work I'm doing on YouTube. And stay tuned after this video for a message from The Motley Fool. So let me go ahead and share my screen really quick. So there are some changes, and these all have to do with the Trump administration's goals of cutting down on fraud throughout the government. There are some changes that will make things run smoother, is kind of the silver lining here. And as I mentioned, I want to be very, very clear. No changes have been announced or even suggested by the administration that will affect current retirees' benefits at all. So here's just kind of a snapshot of where Social Security stands right now. As of the latest data, about 69 million Americans get Social Security. This includes a little over 52 million retired workers, 7 million disabled workers, 3.7 million dependents of retired and disabled workers. In a lot of cases, your children would get benefits. 5.8 million survivors of deceased workers. So, big program. Tens of millions of Americans depend on Social Security. And that's why this is really important to get this message out there. The biggest change is that now in-person verification is required. That's the big headline you see in the news. That's what it says right here. But let me kind of put into context what that means. Traditionally, there are three ways that you could either apply for benefits, make direct deposit changes, or any of that. Things that required you to identify who you are. There were three ways to do that. You could do it online at the My Social Security portal at ssa.gov. You could do it over the phone, and you could do it in person at a local Social Security Administration office. So all this is doing is taking away the ability to verify your identity over the phone. The online My Social Security portal is still available. You can identify yourself through there. But now, if you can't, for whatever reason, if you can't use the My Social Security portal, can't verify your identity through that, a visit to a field office is now a requirement. You can't verify it over the phone. Now, obviously, for a lot of, if you're younger and you're watching this video, this may seem like just kind of a sign of the times, like it's progress, things like that. The phone is kind of an antiquated way to conduct any financial business these days. But a lot of seniors still use the phone. It's the people in my generation and younger sometimes forget that. But retirees still do use the phone, so this could be a big change for a lot of retirees. This will affect two different groups of seniors. It's going to affect new beneficiaries, people who are applying for Social Security for the first time, and it's also going to affect people who want to change where they get their Social Security benefits, meaning that they want to switch their direct deposit details. So if you close one bank account and open another and need to change your direct deposit, you're going to need to verify your identity to do that. So just a few things to know. Most people will still verify their ID through the online portal, as they always have. Nothing's changing there. This affects people who can't, or don't want to access the My Social Security portal, which, in my opinion, everybody should have online access. There's a lot more there than just identity verification. You can get your Social Security statements. You can all kinds of valuable information right there. But if you don't want to access it, you do need to go to an office now. And unfortunately, this change is happening as they are closing Social Security offices. They're not closing a ton of them. In the scheme of things, they're closing 47% or 47 total Social Security offices around the country that are closing or are set to close. They've announced they are canceling those leases. Is really what's happening. The Social Security Administration is also reducing its workforce by 7,000 people. But all of those 50,000 employees who remain, pretty much all of them will be in the office 5 days a week, and that should help them keep up with this in-person ID requirement. So it makes sense that they're doing this. There is some fraud. We'll talk about that in just a minute. The second change that's going on is that there's going to be faster direct deposit processing. So this is a good change. So under the previous rules, there was a 30-day hold period for online direct deposit changes. So now the Social Security Administration will process all direct deposit change requests within 1 business day, of course, of identifying yourself, because there is that stricter ID requirement. But now they are going to process direct deposit changes within a business day. So that is a positive change. So why are these happening? The Social Security Administration claims that it loses more than $100 million every year to direct deposit fraud. And the phone verification method has been disproportionately a large source of it. So this is where a criminal would use the phone to call the Social Security Administration and change your direct deposit to their account in order to steal your Social Security benefits. That's not, as you can imagine, that's not easy to do in person. It's also not that easy to do online. You have to, hack into someone's account, get their password, things like that. But over the phone, it can be a lot easier. So the goal of this is that by eliminating that phone verification option, which you can still start the process on the phone, you can still call and get the ball rolling and, fill it, tell them where you want your direct deposit sent, things like that. You can apply for benefits by the phone. You can start the process. But if you can't use the online portal, you still need to verify your identification in person. So what you can do to prepare for these changes. Number one is to sign up for access to My Social Security if you have not already. The address is just ssa.gov. If you insist on, avoiding the online portal for one reason or another, there's the phone number right there to request an in-person appointment, 1-800-772-1213. So that is a number to set up an appointment. I highly recommend making an appointment. Social Security offices can have very, very long wait times for walk-ins. Some take walk-ins, but it can be a very long wait time. And if you're a younger person watching this, if you have older relatives who are on Social Security, especially if they aren't tech savvy, you can help them sign up for an online account. It could be a good idea to ask if they are online, have an account, and even if you're a young person, it's worth signing up yourself. I check my Social Security account once a year to check my statement, and get a whole lot of valuable information that way. So just a couple of changes happening and those go into effect on March 31st. So hopefully you found that informative. Please leave me any questions or comments you might have. Check out the link you see in the description of the video, and stay tuned right now for a message from the Motley Fool. Thanks so much for watching. Here's an interesting fact. Most retirees don't realize they could be missing out on almost $23,000 in extra Social Security benefits every single year. The truth is, Social Security has hidden strategies that could help you maximize your retirement income, but most people never take advantage of them. Luckily, our sponsor, The Motley Fool, has got you covered so you don't make that mistake. If you want to boost your benefits and retire with more confidence, go to fool.com/MattF right now to learn more about Motley Fool Stock Advisor.